This coronation has, of course, stirred up conversations about Canada's role in the Commonwealth. We know the Prime Minister spoke with King Charles III. Is Canada's relationship with the King going to change with this new monarch?
It's only natural with that magnitude of change that people would reflect on the institution and ask questions and have a public debate.
Is it time for a change, though? We have a new monarch. That was history, as you mentioned, 70 years on the throne.
You know, I think people have to reflect on the pros and the cons and ask themselves the very important question of change to what? It's one thing to say we should change this institution. It's another thing to define exactly what it would be replaced by. The value of a constitutional monarchy in a democracy is that critical separation between head of state and head of government. Head of government, of course, is political by all definitions.
Sure.
Head of state is nonpartisan. It separates those two roles. And as we've seen over the years, governments come and go, but our Constitution continues providing strength and continuity and emphasizing the things that pull us together as a country. I think people have to reflect very carefully on change to what? And is it going to be better? Or is the kind of constitutional monarchy that we've had, is it the very best form for our future?
We may see some of that yet, because all of our Crown treaties with Indigenous peoples are with the Crown. There's this big meeting happening on Thursday with the national Indigenous leaders happening. So they're meeting with him as diplomatic equals. How will their relationship with the King change their role, the relationship with Canadians and in Canada?
I think we have a set of circumstances at the moment that could be very fortunate for Canada's future, with this monarch who is very interested in Indigenous relationships and the whole process of healing and reconciliation. Plus, we have an Indigenous woman as Governor General. Mm-hmm. And between the two of them, they may well be able to make a very unique and substantial contribution to that whole process of reconciliation. And I think a very good sign is during this coronation week, the Governor General, His Majesty the King, and the three national Indigenous leaders from Canada have had the opportunity to meet face to face, to open a dialogue about what that newly shaped future might look like.
If he comes on board with national Indigenous leaders, how does that change things government-wise for the rest of Canada?
Well, I think, quite frankly, it will build momentum toward solutions that governments are going to have to reflect on very carefully and see how they then follow up. The King himself, of course, does not have that substantive power to intervene and do this or do that.
But he has strong symbolic power.
He has symbolic power. He has convening authority. He can provide moral leadership. He can influence the public atmosphere, he can influence the debate, he can encourage people toward solutions. And I mean, that sounds a bit academic, but he can lift that off the page and make it a very useful influence for good.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.